So it's Tuesday, it's like quarter to 11 like PM. Yeah, so I guess that's perfect time for a new series. So what's the meaning of this? This is going to be the start of my new series called 2 Minute Tuesdays. Why am I doing this? Because I guess it's fairly original. I haven't seen many other people doing it yet. There's a lot of Tech Tuesday, things like that, but no 2 Minute Tuesdays as far as I'm aware. And two, because it's just so much more accessible. It's difficult to make these 3, 4, 5 minute videos every day for a week or something because it just takes so much time, especially for a student who's working on his blog and all these other things as well. Whereas 2 minutes, like what's 2 minutes really? I can give up 2 minutes once a week, get this video recorded, post it out, give it to the world and just see how it goes. So like let me just see like where it goes. And we're going to start off this new series by talking about blockchain. Now why blockchain? Because I posted on my blog recently about blockchain where most of my blog posts get between 50 and 80 views. I've got a few odd outliers, say 100, 200, one got 800, one just hit 1,000. But this one about blockchain, within 48 hours, it reached 2,500. And now, like 2 months? No, 1 month, 1 and a bit months later, this blog post has reached 17,000 views. Which to me is like incredible. Someone who's only been blogging for a small time to reach that many people is just insane. What that says to me is that a lot of people still don't really know or understand the concept behind blockchain. Like obviously there's Bitcoin and all these things, but I feel like AI, VR and blockchain are still these big technological buzzwords that people still don't really get. Whereas, I mean, I'm obviously no expert and the title of my blog post is explaining blockchain to a 6-year-old, so you can tell just how far my knowledge goes. But for the purpose of this video, let's just go into it and explain, I guess in a bit less detail than I put in the post. Like if you want to see more, click the link in the description below. You can read the blog post in more detail. It's like a 4, maybe 5 minute read. But let me just explain it, or try my best, in 2 minutes. Putting that timer on now. So, what is blockchain? Let's explain it in as simple terms as possible by comparing it to a game of Connect 4. Now, let's talk about the peer-to-peer network, because one of the big things about blockchain is obviously it's a peer-to-peer network, it's decentralized, and it's unalterable, it's easily verifiable. So let's break it down into those 4 core concepts and then compare that to a game of Connect 4. What's a peer-to-peer network? Most of us already know, but a peer-to-peer network basically is where one task is broken down between all multiple nodes or the peers in the network. So in the context of the board game, a peer-to-peer network means the 2 players are the 2 nodes. It's not one person putting in all the chips and you just pick red or yellow. It's you both have equal input. All the peers, let's say there's 1 million people playing this one game of Connect 4, each one of those 1 million players is a node in their own sense. They can all put in a piece, they can all see the game, they can all interact, and that's basically in a simpler way I can think of a way to explain peer-to-peer network. Going from that same concept, like just going on from it, just talk about decentralized. Now what that means is that there's no one person or one bank, one figure in the middle to control it all. Each one of these players has equal control, they can all see it, they can all get involved. There's no referee, there's no one person keeping check of the rules. Obviously there are rules, same with blockchain, same with this game, there are rules, but there's no one person to enforce them all. It's the work of the whole network, which kind of comes together with, like I said before, the peer-to-peer network. And then the final 2 points, unalterable and easily verifiable, those, it's like continuing on with the same example again. Easily verifiable because let's say there's 1 million players, all 1 million of you, assuming there's a big space for it, you can all see the board. It's not like one person can control things behind the scenes. Everyone can see the game and everyone knows that with Connect 4, for example, when you put the piece in, you can't change it. Unless obviously you restart the whole game, but let's take this for face value. You can't change the pieces once they're in there, and that means it's unalterable. Similar with blockchain. Imagine like a piece of Lego, for example. So you put one brick on top of another one, and let's say this piece changes, it molds to fit the block beneath it, and it stays that way forever. Imagine that on a scale of like millions and billions. You can't just, I guess in theory you could potentially take off one and put on another identical block to the one beforehand, but in practice that's an incredibly difficult task, and that's basically the fundamentals of blockchain. Is that 2 minutes yet? I really should have set a timer, but like yeah, in in principle that's it, and that's basically my whole blog post summarized in like 2 seconds. Like I said, if you want to read it, it's in the description below, but that's that's it for my 2 minutes. That's it for Tuesday. And if you want to see more, go to my channel. Don't really have this sort of time on my hands, but yeah, like, deuces.